Have you missed us?
Because we've missed you.
Welcome back to the Dearly Departed podcast.
Yes, we've been away for so long.
My elbow. Anyway, hi. I'm Alyssa.
I'm Kaylee.
And again, welcome back. We've missed you guys. It's been
Yes.
6 months.
Yes, and a lot has happened in 6 months. We kind of took an unannounced hiatus.
Yeah. I just never got around to posting the announcement.
My potato of a computer just finally bit the dust. And in this economy, computers are a little bit expensive. So, how to save up for that?
Yeah.
We're back. And with better equipment, ready to have some fun.
Yes. I got curtains. Oh, and my hair's red.
Mine's... I forgot what color my hair was when we last posted. I think it was still ginger. I'm a little more of a blonde now. Still a little brunette.
Yeah.
But it's not jet black how we started this. Kind of miss it. Kind of want to go back.
No, I think you should do what I sent you.
Also, today's episode, not sponsored by Yoo-Hoo. But, Yoo-Hoo. If you're willing. I'm willing!
Chick-fil-A. My tried and true.
Period. So, what's been up with you in your life the last 6 months since we last sat down?
I started a photography business.
Hell yeah. The pictures are phenomenal.
Thank you. I still work at Scooters. But now I'm assistant store manager. Starting today, as we're recording this, I started.
Woo! Promotion! Love to see it.
I'm still making sure I have time for you.
Period, queen.
What's new with you?
I kind of sort of quit my job. I got a new job. That's going really great. Well, it's not really a new job. It's somewhere I've worked before, but...
Yeah. You're going back to a job that you previously had and loved.
Yes, and the only reason I left it was I didn't want to travel anymore. Because I wanted to start my life with Mr. Joseph. And now I have an opportunity to go back to that company and not travel, but still be part of something that is phenomenal, and I love it. Yay. And I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks now.
Look at us.
And I love it. Life is going really great. We're back doing the pod. We both have different career opportunities that we didn't have before when we were doing this. And yeah.
Which I think we're in a better spot mentally, technologically.
Yes,
all of it.
Shout out to Mr. Tyler for the being our tech guy and getting us back to where we are now.
Yeah. He's pretty cool sometimes.
And sometimes.
Any new haunts since we've been gone?
Not too many. Activity in the house has kind of died down a little bit. Weird thing happened though earlier. I was getting my computer set up and I started getting ready for all this, and my nose just started randomly bleeding, and I don't get nosebleeds.
I was gonna say, you don't get nosebleeds often enough that it would just happen.
Yeah, so it was a little weird that it happened.
Yeah.
Not saying a ghost made my nose bleed, but as I'm setting up and getting ready for this, piques my interest a little bit.
I know, I got your text when I was at work, and I was like, oh god, is this a bad omen? Should we not be recording again? What are we doing?
Yeah, I was kind of like, ooh. But it stopped, so
Yay.
we're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen. But not too much new evidence on my end. What about you?
I accidentally made my coffee shop haunted.
Oh, please tell.
So, I love GhostTube.
Oh no.
And I pulled it up at work to just be, like, funny. Because, like, everybody at work knows me as, like, the ghost girl, which is, I think, I love, honestly. And we kept hearing, like, the refrigerator's doors, like, slam shut. Even if there was just, like, two people in there next to each other. It's not a very big store. It's a Scooters.
Yeah,
Like,
they're very
it's, like,
tiny coffee shops.
It's, like, 10 feet by 10 feet. Like, it's not very big. So we would hear doors slam, like, the fridge doors slam, but no one would be there. And I don't remember if this happened before or after we stopped recording the pod, but one morning at 5 a.m., me and my coworker were sitting there, and we hear loud bangs on the back door, but no one was there. And
okay, that's a little spooky.
And then something fell in the store. We have all of our cups, like, super up high. Like, you need, like, a larger stepladder to get the cups. They were all fine. One fell off the top.
Just one single one?
Like a one sleeve. Like a singular sleeve of cups fell.
Okay, that's really weird.
Yeah. No one was near it. We didn't have any customers, nothing. And then same day, this store that I'm no longer at doesn't have an owner because our owner passed away.
R.I.P. the homie.
And one day, the same day that we, all of this happened, my friend Chloe, shout out Chloe, I know you're listening, we got a call and it said the owner's name. She answered it and it was just static.
Oh, that is really weird. Actually, I think I do have a couple things, but not like stories that like have too much detail, but the other night I was closing at work and it was just myself, one server, and my kitchen manager in the store. Well, the server and I were out on the patio shutting that down, taking umbrellas down and things like that. Our kitchen manager was in the kitchen, like trying to clean up the grill and stuff. So like there was no one in the building. All of a sudden my server looks at me, she was like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "Girl, what?" She was like, "There was someone inside in a white shirt that just walked by the window." I'm like, "Girl, no. No." So, is my new store haunted? I don't know. Could be. Building's been there for a while.
Honestly, I think me and you were just haunted and then we bring it everywhere.
Well, it could be true. But, so, I don't know if you guys remember, couple episodes back when I was talking about me helping my roommate's mom move out of her house with a haunted doll.
I think about that doll often, I'm not gonna lie.
Girl, I do too. I want that doll back. I want to bring her here. Is it a good idea? Probably not. But I want her. I want to bring her here. I want to have a fun little girl time with her.
I think we cracked my... I don't think I'm scared of dolls anymore.
Oh, I love that. Yay.
We love growth.
We love it. But, that my roommate's grandma, he just told us last night that she is, in the last stage of hospice, and she should be passing by, the end of the week. I'm wondering if maybe her spirit's gonna go back to that house. Where the doll was.
Well, I guess it really depends on, Does she want to haunt it? Is there any unfinished business? Like,
I know, like, I'm curious. So I need to know.
I don't think you get to choose where you spend the rest of eternity. You might.
I don't know. We'll have to interview a ghost or something. Maybe the sailor Harry is still around the house somewhere, and maybe we can interview him one day. If he decides to actually like me and not call me a hag. Because I'm still not over that.
I forgot about that.
He was fine with men, just hated women. Whatever.
Which is normally the opposite. Like, normally they hate men. Or maybe I'm just thinking of dogs. I feel like dogs hate men.
Yeah. But yeah. And then I've just been, this isn't really paranormal, it's just because I live in the Midwest now, but I'm being haunted by deer. In a matter of 30 seconds the other night when I was driving home, I didn't almost hit not one, not two, but 3 separate deer all within 30 seconds of each other.
I remember that text message. I think the last episode we posted was the day after you hit the deer.
Yeah, so definitely being stalked by deer at this point. Also, if you guys hear like knocking and banging, I can debunk that. That is not paranormal. My fiance is right outside my window area fixing the AC in my car. My car is currently in a bajillion pieces, so if you hear banging, it's not a ghost. It is Joseph.
The seats are out of the car. You can see all the stuff that she shoved under her seats.
Yeah. Pretty sure there was an old onion ring in there somewhere.
I almost took out the lady I used to babysit for the other day. She got in my car and she slipped on a Starbucks wrapper.
Oh my god.
She went, Alyssa, what the fuck? And I was like, sorry.
I just need a little snack.
Last time I visited them, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, or the time before, not the weekend before, my bad. I was like, you guys live on 40 acres in the middle of nowhere. Do you have any experiences? Because they're also very into, like, paranormal and the occult and everything. She was like, I think I saw a cloud that didn't move for, like, 8 hours. And I was like, you got noped. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have 2 young children. We don't watch scary movies in this house. And I was like, oh god, yeah. So I started calling the cloud jean jacket. I don't know if you've seen.
Goodness.
No. And then she said that they were sitting outside one night, and her husband, who Andy doesn't get scared, he saw 2 red eyes staring at them from the cornfield over the fence.
Oh, that's weird.
And then they all went inside, and they haven't seen it since.
I mean, as they say, if you saw something, no, you didn't.
But I do know that her children found out about SWs, and to freak me out on their 40 acres of land, they kept saying the actual word.
No.
And
No.
Their youngest, who was the first one I babysat, he's 8, so, like, he's in that rebellious, let's scare Alyssa phase.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, movie-wise, what is a good scary movie you've seen lately?
Girl, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I cannot tell you the last time I watched a movie. I have been in my gamer girl era.
That's fair.
More than normal. I have moved on from Stardew Valley, and
I have too.
I have been playing a lot of Fortnite.
I've been playing Animal Crossing.
It's been fun. I love Animal Crossing.
I just got a Switch for my birthday.
Well, I saw that they're not going to be making the Switch anymore.
Really?
Like, the death of the Switch is coming.
No, I just got one.
But maybe we'll get something better.
Bring back Game Boys.
Yes, or the DS. Like the OG DS.
I saw Obsession.
Oh, I want to see that one. I think it's on Peacock now.
It is.
I know what I'm doing after this, because I'll have some time to kill.
It is so phenomenal. So
is it more of like jump scare or
there's a few
like
jump
thriller
scares.
horror?
There's a few jump scares, and like I don't normally get scared by jump scares. I saw this one in theaters. I threw my popcorn that I was like actively eating. I chucked it.
Girl, I am so bad with jump scares.
There's a couple, but it's more psychological, we'll say. I watched it with Tyler, and I have been that before. Like I've begged for like men to love me. I'm not like that anymore. But I was like, oh my god, is this fucking play about me? And then she's like, my dad has cancer, and I was like, is this play about us?
Oh my god.
And
not funny that your dad had cancer or whatever.
Well, he's dead now. He doesn't have cancer.
That's tough. Poor cancer.
Oh, but then it progressively gets worse and worse and worse. And Tyler's scared of me a little bit now because of this movie. Because I went like, oh my god, am I Nikki? No, I'm not.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of horror movies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to Halloween Horror Nights this year?
I don't know yet. Why?
Well, I'm gonna need you to decide because Joe and I are planning our Florida trip for later this fall.
So I can't do October. And if I do, it's going to be early October, and I'm only going to go for like 2 days because we really can't afford it right now.
Well, our thing is we're going to do a couple days in Florida, starting like South Florida, and then work our way up. I think we'll fly into like Fort Lauderdale, and then fly out of Jacksonville.
Abby and I were talking about going to a G-Eazy concert.
Not the G-Eazy concert.
Yeah. Well, it was the first concert her and I ever went to together, and he's bringing back that same tour with Logic in the same amphitheater that we saw him in.
Okay, fair enough, because Haley Hogan and I were talking about going to see Austin Mahone this year.
Cute.
Because that was like the first concert we went to. So.
But Abby sent me one of his new songs off his new album, and I texted her back and I said, this just sounds like noise.
This just sounds like noise.
I'll send it to you later. It truly just sounds like noise.
I love that.
But yeah, like Abby and her sister really want me to go to Horror Nights, but Tyler told me no because we can't afford it, and I want an engagement ring. So I gotta choose.
You want one of these? You want one of these? One of these? One of these? Oh, the camera is so much clearer now.
Yeah.
You want to be in the fiancé club? The thing is if you do get your engagement ring, you cannot get married before me.
Well, bitch, you better start planning.
Bitch, are you going to fund it?
No, that's why I'm not engaged.
Okay. Alright. So, that's been life.
Yeah.
The last 6 months.
Yeah, that's our life update.
All I do is good work, go home, the occasional grocery store trip.
Yeah. I've made friends.
I have not.
I'm sorry.
My best friend, well, besides Alyssa, still lives 45 minutes from me. And I feel bad because there is a new horror bar that opened up close to her.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go do horror movie trivia there like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god, you reminded me. I bought horror trivia.
Oh my gosh. We need to play that. Are we going to play that now?
We're just going to read one, I'll read you one per episode. And then...
Test my knowledge, my noodle, my noggin, my brain.
So, we'll do horror trivia, and then we decided we're going to read scary Reddit stories today.
Woohoo! I have 3 for you guys.
Okay. I have the perfect question for you.
Ooh, give it to me.
So it's multiple choice.
Oh, I love a good multiple choice.
What medical condition can cause sufferers to report visions of demons, such as the Hat Man and the Old Hag, during bedtime? A nightmare disorder. B, somnambulism. Sorry if I misspoke that. Sleep paralysis or night terrors.
That's a hard one.
Mm-hmm. I will say it's not the word that I couldn't pronounce.
Read them again besides the one that you can't pronounce.
Nightmare disorder, sleep paralysis, or night terrors.
Night terrors?
Sleep paralysis.
I thought sleep paralysis was when like you couldn't move.
Yeah, but people
like,
still see the Hat Man. Which I'm gonna add the Old Hag onto our list.
So me?
Yeah.
I can't remember if we talked about when I did an Estes method with my roommate's friend. I did? Okay.
I think so.
I don't think we ever put any of the evidence in there.
I don't think so either.
So, I do have my spirit box.
Ooh. I keep burping.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting!
Whatever. So, I only picked out 3 stories, but I saw that you picked out 4.
I do have 4.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I can go first.
Yeah. I need to remember how to read, so that's for the best.
Alright, this one is about a haunting in a house. So this one's...
Sorry.
Our dog that passed away has come to visit us twice in a row. Our family dog, who has been with us for 13 years, passed away a few days ago. He lived with us when my family was all living here in Dubai. When my parents retired, they took him back to the Philippines to live with them there, while I continue working overseas here in Dubai. We all decided it was best for our dog because they got so much more space and greenery surrounding them to run around, and my parents' home in the Philippines was a lot bigger than the place I was staying at. The loss was heartbreaking, and I really wished I was with him on his last moments in the Philippines instead of here in Dubai. 2 days after his passing, my parents told me that they saw him sleeping in his bed in the morning in the Philippines. My dad thought seeing it with his own eyes, and my dad saw it through his own eyes, and my mom saw it through the house's camera. I found that so comforting.
Oh, am I gonna cry already?
So he wasn't really all alone. He was surrounded by people. And then after a day, it was late at night here in Dubai, and I was falling asleep. I started hearing loud barks that woke me back up. It sounded so much like my dog's bark. The building that I was living in didn't allow dogs as far as I was aware, and we were just surrounded by buildings and construction where everyone's gone home for the night. It was really unlikely a dog was around in my situation. I asked my parents, or my partner, who was still fully awake, if he heard the barking.
Yeah, and I'm the one that can't
anything at all. I feel somewhat comforted more than spooked. It was as if our family dog also went and visited me here in Dubai, even though he passed in the Philippines. So
sweet.
With this one, I fully believe that animals come back and visit all the time.
Yeah.
Especially because I've experienced it before.
Go check out episode 1.
Oh, yeah, episode 1, not 2. Back in episode 1, I talked about the ghost cat that I got to experience. Dude, to this day, with my full chest, that there was an actual cat. Like, you can't tell me that there wasn't. Like, there was something there for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, let us know if you guys think that animals come to visit us after they've gone over the Rainbow Bridge, because I believe that they do.
I'm honestly kind of offended because none of my animals have visited me.
Maybe they haven't, you just haven't really noticed.
Yeah, I am very oblivious to things. So. But I'm glad your animals visit you. And that's so sweet that they heard him bark. It was like his last goodbye.
Yeah. That was so cute.
That was a really sweet one to start on.
We don't deserve animals, guys.
I wish I had as nice of one to start on.
It's okay, they only get creepier from here.
I found this story on Ask Reddit. This was posted 13 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
They asked Reddit what was the most disturbing, scary, or creepy real story you have. And this is from Duh Cake Eater, 13 years ago. Every time I stay at my grandma's house, I hear someone walking upstairs. It starts on one side of the room, casually walks to the other, and stops. This will happen maybe once or twice a night. I didn't start hearing it until I was about 14. My grandparents made me start sleeping in a different room on the first floor because they started sleeping in separate bedrooms. Blah, blah, blah. Regardless, both of their rooms are also on the first floor. For a little backstory, I've always been afraid of the upstairs of their house. I don't know why, it's always freaked me out and I refuse to go up there alone. I'm 23 now and still won't go up there alone. Oh god, they're 36 now. I wonder if they'll still go up there. There's one room specifically that freaks me out. It's a long, narrow bedroom. When you open the door, there are closets on your left and right, a bed placed roughly in the middle of the room, a window on the far opposite side of the door. I was told growing up by my grandparents that it's their son at... Fuck. That the sons of the previous owner claimed to see a gorilla come out of the closet at night and dance around the room, and then go back into the closet. I thought nothing of it until I had to start sleeping in the other room, the room located directly below the scary room upstairs. So we all go to bed, the lights in the house are off, I'm still awake, lying on the bed, and then I heard it. Thump, thump, thump. Starting at one end of the room upstairs, it got closer to me, passed right above me, and continued to the end of the room. When it stopped, I'm wide awake, terrified out of my mind. It was no question to me that I heard footsteps. I knew that slow, casual pace. I was freaked out and went to my grandpa's room. I told him what I heard, and he told me the house is old and it creaks. But he turned the dining room light on for me, so I felt a little safer. I tried to go back to sleep. Then it started again. This time where it ended the first time, by the window upstairs. It walked over to me again, and then it stops when it reaches the door. I thought it was over until 5 seconds later I heard it coming down the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Silence as it reached the landing. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Silence again as it reached the first floor. I was frozen in shock. Whatever it was on my floor of the house, and sadly unaffected the dining room light. Unaffected by the dining room light. Apparently I'm just leaving out words. I was staring at the doorway into my room. The dining room light was shining in, and my vision began to distort. I felt dizzy with fear, so I pulled the blankets over my head and suddenly heard a scratching sound from inside my room.
Oh, no, thank you.
I knew exactly where it was coming from, too. My grandpa's gun case. It was very obvious sound, scratching on the wood, long scratches down the front of the gun case door. I could even hear the door ever so slightly tapping against the frame as each scratch began. I tried to scream, and I couldn't. I took a second to take a deep breath and let out a loud scream. In seconds, my grandpa had made it into my room, and I was relieved. Needless to say, he didn't believe me. So I did what any normal person would do. I draped a sheet over the side of the bed and slept underneath it. I wrapped myself tight in the comforter, put on headphones, and turned my back to the door. There could be a party of ghosts in the room, and I wouldn't even know. The next morning, my grandpa told my grandma what happened the night before. She said, "Oh, that's silly. You know, your cousin woke me up the last time she stayed here. She came into the room saying, 'I hear footsteps.' I slept under the bed for the rest of the week, staying with them. I stayed there countless times since it happened. I hear footsteps every single time. I sleep on top of the bed now, but my back is to the door, and I sleep with headphones on. I haven't heard it come downstairs since that first night, but if it does, I don't want to know."
Okay, wait. A gorilla?
Yeah. Does Bigfoot live in their house?
That's what I'm thinking. But why is it always the grandparents' house that is always the creepiest?
Okay, this is gonna sound fucked up. I think it's because they're closer to dying. I think it's like a, I don't know, the veil is thinner.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
But also, I have found in so many stories and like experiences, it's always the upstairs that is scarier than the downstairs. A lot of the times, it's the attic that's scarier than the basement.
It's literally never the first floor. It's either the basement or the attic.
Yeah. Like, I was just watching the Paranormal Files while I was getting ready. And they were, I forgot what house they were investigating. It was in Iowa.
Villisca?
Nope, not that one.
Farrar?
Nope. I'll look on it later and I'll text it to you. But the basement was perfectly fine. It wasn't until they hit the top floor that shit got weird.
That sounds exactly like my story from Villisca.
But yeah, it's always the old people's house. And most of the time it's the upstairs that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I don't like attics. I refuse to go in them.
Yeah. I'm just concerned of how the grandparents didn't hear anything. Or are they just, like...
used to it.
Pretending. Yeah.
Also,
or
another
are they,
weird
like,
thing
pretending?
that's been happening, like the last few days, we've had so many birds just flying straight into our windows around the house.
What kind of birds?
All of them.
Oh,
any kind of bird you can think of, just flying straight into the window.
I think you need to sage your house.
I think so too.
I think that's a bad omen.
Yeah. So first the birds, then the nosebleed. Am I gonna die?
What?
Stay tuned. I said, am I gonna die? Stay tuned next week to find out.
No.
Cuts to next week.
Comment below if Kaylee died.
Well, yeah, that's kind of weird. A gorilla dancing, Bigfoot.
I'm thinking of the gorilla from Sing.
I was thinking of the gorilla from SpongeBob. That's where my brain went. That's that gorilla suit.
One of the comments under it said, do you ever think it's just your grandparents sleepwalking?
But that could be true too.
Yeah, but like, why would they hear like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that.
I heard a little bit of it.
Yeah. I don't know, it's been 13 years and there was no update. The only edit was, sorry for my spelling errors. Okay.
Alright. Moving on to the next one.
Your turn.
So this next one that we have is about our dear friend, the Wendigo. The Windy boy. I love
your boyfriend.
I love the Wendigos. Alright, this one's from 5 years ago. Ooh. So semi-recent. Within the last decade. Alrighty, this story takes place in the back country of the area I grew up. Be warned, some of this may be frightening for some. Reader discretion is advised. So back in 2019, I remember there being a big uproar of unknown creatures roaming the forest, like Bigfoot, skinwalkers, etc. But this story isn't about them. The story is about probably one of the scariest things I have ever heard about, the Wendigo. A few months after one of my friends, Jacob, mentioned this big uproar, I went to go see him since I had been away and enlisted in the Marines. I got back after being discharged, and one of the first things I did was go and see him. We're having a good old time, and he brought up the idea of going out on a little hangout or out to a little hangout spot his now ex-girlfriend took him to when they wanted to get away for a few hours. Alright, so that's a big red flag already. Why are we going on?
Well, yeah, his name is Jacob and he's in the military.
And why are we going outside when it's dark? No, thank you.
Yeah.
So I decided why not. So I grabbed my gun and we went out on this extremely secluded area and started messing around on one of the old docks. It had been pretty much forgotten by the looks of it, poorly maintained, and some boats were there but completely rotted through. So about 30 minutes into our shenanigans, Jacob brought up the topic of the Wendigo. The name sounded a little scary even for me. Curious, I asked him about it. He said that if you went into the woods and said Wendigo 3 times, you would come across the scariest looking thing you've ever seen. Me calling his bluff, I told him to prove it. To this day, I wish I hadn't. We started walking on this little path that led deeper into the thick woods, close to the Alabama state line. So we're in the right area for this.
Mm-hmm.
We walked for maybe about 20-ish minutes and decided we were in a good spot. I feel it's worth knowing that it had been raining a lot over the past couple of days, so the ground was completely saturated with water and mud. I turned to Jacob and he dares me to do it. I stood there in complete silence. The rest of the forest was almost as silent as we were, all besides the tall pines swaying in the wind high above our heads. Reluctantly, I slowly started to say it. Wendigo, Wendigo, Wendigo. Then, nothing happened. I let out a silent sigh of relief at the fact that nothing happened. One thing about mine and Jacob's friendship is we loved it when one of us proved the other wrong about something. In our friendship of about 10 years, I think it was one of the first times I had proven him wrong with anything. We started to talk a little bit of shit back and forth at each other when we heard a noise in the distance. Me still having the reflexes I had from the Marines, I immediately snapped towards the direction of the noise. Sorry, I lost my place, guys.
No, you're fine. I was like putting myself in the
in the scenario.
Scene. Yeah. I got the heebie-jeebies.
I immediately snapped towards the direction of the noise that were just then turning into noises. I started to move closer to the noises and then shortly after we saw a few coyotes running across the path about 30 feet in front of us. I breathed another sigh of relief, but that relief didn't last long since I knew something was up. I didn't know what was up at first, but I just knew it at the time that me and Jacob had to leave. We turned to leave the woods. All of a sudden, a tall pine tree started to groan and creak as it started to come down. Noticing this, and in a moment of pure instinct, I shoved Jacob forward as the tree came falling through the rest of the branches and landed right in between us. Jacob let out a cry of terror as the tree landed, and I hopped over the tree to get him. I could feel his heart pounding like a drum, and I grabbed him by the shirt and yanked him back to his feet. He was still terrified and still practically crying as I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Move, Jacob. Fucking move now." Fair enough. Accurate.
Real.
I spun him around really hard, causing him to fall on his knees. I didn't dare look back, and neither did Jacob. I was sprinting through the woods when a familiar sound came from behind me. "Jacob! Jacob, come quick!" It was the sound of Jacob's younger sister, Olivia. He turned and tried to get past me the whole time he was screaming, "Olivia!" I stopped him and said, Jacob, look at me. It's not her. Do you hear me? It's not her. Just then, another pine tree started to buckle. I saw it just in time to tackle Jacob down to the ground as both of us were nearly crushed. I screamed at Jacob once more. Go, get out of here, go now.
Don't they have a gun?
Yeah.
And then I started blasting. That's how
I was screaming and then I pulled my gun. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
I was screaming and I pulled my gun out of my waistband and aimed it down the trail in the direction where we had come from. Jacob made it to the opening of the trail and turned back and noticed I was still aiming my gun down the trail. Bradley, get out of there. Come on, hurry. I turned and started sprinting towards him. As I made it into the clearing, a good 50 feet, I turned and me and Jacob both saw it. The thing we had ushered into showing itself, the Wendigo. It stood about 9 feet tall on its hind legs. There was practically no meat on the bones. It had really skinny legs. Sir, you just repeated yourself there, just different words. And even skinnier arms. Its skin was pale white, almost like a vampire's. But the thing that I noticed the most about it were its eyes. A vibrant blue, almost lightsaber blue for those who have seen Star Wars. Having had enough fear, I raised my gun and fired at the Wendigo. Jacob, not sticking around to see if I had killed it or not, ran towards the car. I turned and did the same thing as he passed me. That was the first experience with the so-called Wendigo. I pray almost every night that I never have to encounter something so terrifying again.
Spooky.
Spooky dooky. So, yeah, first of all, why did you guys think it was a good idea to go into the woods at night?
Well, obviously they didn't believe in it, and now they do.
Yeah,
and now they do.
If you don't believe after that, there's something wrong with you there, bud.
I do think it's funny that, like, he was like, oh my god, my little sister is out here. Y'all didn't bring her.
Yeah.
Why? Be fucking for real.
Like you should know better by now.
Yeah.
Men.
I'm glad they're okay. I feel like that would be a really good scene in a movie.
It sounds like a scene out of a movie straight up.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for jumping the gun, literally, and wanting them to pull out the gun sooner.
Yeah, it did take them a while to pull out that gun. Me, I would have been like,
like immediately, I would be shooting the gun. I would be shooting the tree.
Whole clip gone.
And that's why we would die.
Whole clip straight into the tree. Alright, Alyssa, where are you taking us next?
Obviously, the ghost girl has to bring another ghost story.
More dancing gorillas?
No more dancing gorillas. Just junkies. Paranormal Encounters, the subreddit Paranormal Encounters. Ghost junkies above the dive bar. This was posted 4 days ago.
Oh, so real recent.
Yeah. Here's one I hope y'all dig. That's how it starts. Mid-2000s in downtown San Diego, my buddy moved into a cheap shitbox apartment in the decrepit old building building above our favorite underground bar, named Landlord Gyms, because the bar owner also owned the apartment above the tavern. I believe the building was around 4 floors of apartments, and it had been built in the 1930s. It was near the neighborhood of Golden Hill. Here's the kicker. In the late 50s and throughout the 60s and 70s, apparently it was a flop house for a lot of heroin addicts, and throughout the years, many of them had died by overdose under the moldering roof. Hence, the place was said to be haunted. Well, I can attest to that, it certainly was. I used to crash there pretty often. We were in our late 20s back then. I started out It started out with doors slamming with no wind, lights turning on and off before my eyes. I'd turn off the bathroom light and then watch the heavy clicker go right back up. Then you could hear a crowd of trampling feet thundering down the hallway. I'd open the door to the hallway and no one was there. And if it were physical people, I would have definitely seen them just beginning to descend the next flight of stairs. This is the type of stuff that would go on regularly. Then one day, I was there alone, watching Twin Peaks in the tiny living room separated by a half wall from the kitchen behind me. Suddenly, I hear drawers and cabinets opening, and the faucet turning on full blast. I called for my buddy, for I reckoned that he had come back from work. No answer. In fact, I never heard the front door open, and I certainly would have. My blood goes cold, my body hairs straighten, and I call again. No answer. Finally, I muster up the courage to look into the kitchen and investigate. Multiple cupboards and drawers are pulled open, the faucet running, and no one. No one is there. No one physical had come into the apartment. It was a poltergeist scene material from the film. Yep, that old building was way haunted. By many different spirits, it seems. This kind of stuff happened to the regular tenants at landlord Jim's. Shortly after, I did some occult research on the phenomena and learned that for some people that becomes too much by certain desires of the physical plane. I don't think that sentence made sense. And that if they die while practicing that addiction, their souls now have an endless burning thirst for that desire in the spirit realm. But here it cannot be quenched. Thus, some of them hang around of their place of macabre passing, still weighted by the things that they desire, until they let go and they're unable to ascend to the higher spheres of the afterlife evolution. I never got malice vibes from these spirits. It was really as if they just wanted to know that they were there, wanted us to know that they were there. I acknowledged them and apologized for them being in the space and conveys that I mean no harm. Much love for everyone. Life is supernatural and Gonzo is hells. I got all kinds of bedtime stories for you. Stay freaky.
I don't
believe.
All
This
right.
guy writes weird.
Alrighty. Well, you heard it here, folks. If you die doing a certain activity that you continue to do over and over again, once you pass over, you're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, isn't that like the whole premise of season 5 of American Horror Story?
I think it is. So moving on to our next story. This one is my dog man sighting. This is from 4 years ago. Hey all, I just wanted to share the story of my dog man sighting, and yes, I am doing so on a throwaway account. I've told a few of my friends, and they have mostly said I have misidentified whatever I saw. I felt the need to tell my story in a place where at least I know there are some other skeptics like myself. So here it is. I was staying in the Catskill Mountain in New York State for a few days. I had booked an Airbnb with my girlfriend where we could bring our dog, a 100-pound German Shepherd. The Airbnb was a strange RV that was converted/expanded into a cabin. The place was far away from other houses and on the side of the road, basically on the side of the mountain overlooking an amazing view. The stay had 2 fire pits, one right next to the cabin and the other one was about 800 feet away on top of a hill. Last night there we were having one of the last fires in the faraway pit. The fire pit had a great view of the mountain range and cornfields on one side, and the other side sat up against the wood line. We had our dog off leash. He is very well mannered, and we were playing some music on a Bluetooth speaker. Our dog kept looking towards the wood line, and it was freaking my girlfriend out. We would occasionally turn the music off just to listen to see if we could hear anything. I also had a small LED flashlight that would scan the woods when it looked with it looking for any animal eyes. That sentence did not make sense. Hold up.
No.
I also had a small LED flashlight and would scan the wood line with it within, looking for animal eyes just in case it picked anything up. Well, after a little bit of this, my dog jumped up to his feet and started full force, aggressively growling at the woods. This was very out of character for him. Just when I was getting up and turning the music off, my dog darted at the woods, maintaining his high alert status. He juked left, and I heard something take off only a few steps back in response. I was able to call him back to me right away, at which point he crept back, keeping his eyes locked on the creature. As my girlfriend held our dog's collar, I stepped closer into the woods. Sir, why would you go and do that?
We've been over this, men are dumb.
I stepped closer into the woods with my flashlight and small knife in hand. I was scanning the woods with my flashlight and picked up on a set of eyes which now looked and sounded a lot further back than we had heard the steps. The eyes were glowing like a dog's eyes in the light of my LED flashlight, but the height is what threw me off. It was too tall to be an animal. I would expect to see something like a coyote, a raccoon, a skunk, etc. I figured it may have been a black bear. Although black bears are very skittish to people and especially dogs unless protecting their young, so it wasn't adding up in my head. I sat there for a solid 3 to 4 minutes trying to focus on what this was. The eyes didn't look like a bear, it looked like a crouching dog. I was lost in my curiosity, and my girlfriend went into almost shock, put the music back on, and said, "We're getting out of here and going back inside." What a smart lady. I like her.
This is why women live longer than
Exactly. I kept telling her to turn the music off and started walking back to her without turning from the woods, but I wasn't going to stay out there alone. Alright, now he's getting a little smart. She started dragging our dog back into the cabin, and my dog and I had our eyes fixed on the woods. As soon as my flashlight went off, the creature started following alongside of us in the wood line. The footsteps I heard sounded just like a person walking in the woods. As it followed us, I heard at least 2 separate sets walking near it in the woods. We got inside the cabin, locked the door, shut all the blinds, and were completely freaked out. I spent the next few hours or so listening and watching outside the window, hoping the animal would walk into the spotlight off of the cabin so I could identify it. I never saw anything.
They're smarter than that.
What?
They're smarter than that.
Yeah. I never saw anything step out, but the footsteps continued walking back around there behind the cabin in the woods. I stepped out the door about an hour or 2 later, but heard nothing, and searching with my flashlight saw nothing. Whatever I heard that night was not afraid of my dog, and I never see my dog act like that. My dog will chase rabbits, even deer, without making a sound. Luckily, he always comes back to me whenever I call him. I spent a lot of time outdoors in my life and have always been able to identify animals in any encounter. I have asked a lot of my hunting friends about this, and they asked if any animal would react like this and not instantly run away from a dog his size. The mystery of not knowing is what creeps me out the worst. I never heard dog man at the time, so it didn't even cross my mind during the sighting until I researched crouching dogs sightings online. My girlfriend hates to talk about it whenever I saw and we heard that night. So I'm presenting this as a hopeful skeptic.
Yeah, at least they weren't like. I mean, they were stalked by it, kind of, but like they didn't come face to face. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Still,
I also don't know much about Dogman.
Me either. So we'll be adding that list to the list so we can, educate ourselves more and educate you guys on it. If you guys know anything about Dogman, drop it down below.
If you have any stories.
Yeah, any story about Mr. Dogman. Or Mrs. Dogman. Email us. Can't chat here. Email me.
That trend makes me giggle every time. Are we ready for a Ouija board encounter?
The Ouija! The Ouija!
This is the subreddit Paranormal. It was posted 8 months ago, and it says, my friend messed with a Ouija board and things started happening. These events happened after an encounter I had with someone else entirely. A story I'll tell another time. Okay, clickbait. This actually happened, and I avoided talking about it for years because I just couldn't explain it. One night, a close friend asked if I wanted to come over and use a Ouija board. I said no immediately.
As you should.
As you should. As I've used a Ouija board before. I'd always been uncomfortable with that kind of thing, and I wanted no part of it. She didn't push, but later that night she used it anyway, with a couple of friends. Everything seemed normal after. We talked, said goodnight, she went to bed. Not long after, I got a message that says, you need to come down here. When I asked her why, she told me that there was a man standing at the end of her bed, a tall, completely black figure, just watching her. I heard her, hello? I told her to turn the light on. She said it vanished when she did, and when she turned the light back off, it came back. I went to her house immediately. I went to her house immediately. She was shaken in a way you can't fake. She asked me to lay in bed with her because she couldn't be alone, and I agreed. We laid there in silence. She turned the light off, and the figure was there again, tall, featureless, unmoving. She whispered not to move. I asked why, and that's when the blanket slowly lifted and was gently placed over our shins, leaving our feet exposed. It wasn't violent, it was intentional. Then, it was gone. After that, the activity changed. We heard a baby laughing, clear as day, the sound of a tricycle rolling across the hardwood floors. I stayed the night because she was too afraid to be alone. I've never forgotten it. I don't know what stood at the end of that bed, why it appeared the night of the Ouija board was used, or why it behaved so calmly. All I know is something was there, and it wasn't supposed to be.
It was ghosts with goddamn foot fetish, I'll tell you that.
Did you watch Love Island this season?
The what?
Love Island?
No.
Oh. They had foot fetishes on Love Island. I was gonna say, that's Bryce.
Ew.
Anybody that watched Love Island, you'll laugh at that. It was Bryce. Bryce was...
Oh, that's... oh. Thank you.
So,
thanks.
One of the comments said, or they quoted, she said it vanished when she turned it on, when she did, but when she turned the light back off, it came back. That, they said, that is the point where the light would have stayed on permanently.
Yeah. Lights on. Forget about your electric bill.
Mm-hmm. That's, like, insane, though. Imagine, like... Also, if she couldn't move, how did she call her friend?
Yeah, like, how did you reach for your phone, girl?
Mm-hmm.
The math ain't math in there.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Don't play the Ouija board.
Huh?
Don't play the Ouija board.
Exactly. Rule number 1.
I have to say, don't play with it. And if you do, make sure you don't play with a bunch of dickheads.
Yeah, make sure you have at least someone there that knows what they're doing.
Cleanse, get rid of it properly, close out properly.
Yeah.
Don't do anything stupid, follow the rules. If you do play it. And if you do play it and something bad happens, email us.
Please, we want to hear.
Yes. We won't judge. Actually, no. We'll listen and we'll judge a little bit. But
yeah.
In a good way.
We'll talk about it. We'll have a little conversation. Little chit-chat. Alright, we ready for our closing story? The last one.
Yes.
Da, da, da. Alright. This one is titled, A Translucent Being Almost Killed Me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I kind of changed this one because I saw this one on the corner. I was like, I need to know about this one. This one sounds cool.
This was a long time ago. I was a teenager. My parents were not strict, so I had a lot of freedom. I had 2 friends, and they had their own friends as well. One of my friend's parents owned a huge part of the forest. We, my friends and their friends, there's a lot of grammar mistakes.
Yeah.
Went deep into the woods with a bunch of supplies and started making our own treehouse and forts. This was a big part of my childhood, building stuff with my friends, and this place became our sanctuary for a long time, where we'd spend a lot of our time away from adults. This event happened years after we built the place initially, and also after we rebuilt it because it got destroyed one time. But that's a story for another time. This is a backstory for the events I'm about to recall. Me and my one friend spent the night at our sanctuary that we built, which none of us had ever done before. We only hung out there when we only hung out there then went home. We all planned to spend the night together because it would be fun. Most of our friends weren't allowed to spend the night there because of their parents, and the other one chickened out because he was afraid. So it was just me and one other person, my close friend's cousin, which we weren't close at the time and we fought a lot. But surprisingly, we got along well that night. We spent most of the day swinging from trees, climbing them, hanging out on this tire rope swing while talking. It was a normal day, and then we laid down for some rest about 9 p.m. About 10 minutes after laying down in our sleeping bags, talking to each other under our makeshift tents, we heard ruffling. I sat up and saw a very tall silhouette of something that looked humanish, that was transparent. I could see right through it. I squinted and froze, and it very quickly climbed up this tall tree where it looked like it disappeared. I was in complete disbelief and shock. I had no idea if what I just saw was real or I hallucinated it. I wasn't scared in this moment, actually perplexed. Being young and worried, though, I said to my friend we should leave, and not wanting to hear me, I got close to his ear and just said, "There's something in the woods looking at us." After I said that, his facial expression turned into fear, so we got up and started walking down the path of the woods calmly. I didn't want to sprint because it might chase us. Also, I wasn't sure if I actually saw anything. I'm just not taking a chance. We both very shortly after
See what I'm saying?
Very shortly after we started leaving, we got this weird feeling of deja vu and confusion. Like we were hit with hard drugs or something, except we don't do drugs, and only ate food from our house. No hallucinogenic plants in our part of the country, nothing. Everything was so slow. I felt disoriented, and we continued to walk in this direction for a while, stumbling in the darkness because of our mental state, and I realized we should be out of the forest by now. I knew this was the way out. 110% it was because I've been going in and out of this place for years, even in the dark. Yet, I didn't recognize the trees around us. Just the path, it was just the path. It was like our surroundings were changing. Yeah, there's a lot of grammar errors in this. I understand why I'm making up words as I go.
I can tell. I'm reading along.
Yeah. My friend randomly yelled, "Yeah, I'm coming," as I'm looking in the opposite direction from him, and I turned around very confused and asked why he was saying that. He said his mom's calling his name to help lead him out of the forest. Except I heard nothing at all. I tell him I don't hear anything, and he looks at me like I'm insane, and he walks off the path and into the forest. I grab his arm and pull him back because I don't want him to get lost. That's when my friend sees the transparent thing I saw earlier. Sitting perched on the tree branch in the direction of his mom. And he points it out to me. Its transparency is almost like a heat wave effect. We stared at it for like 10 seconds in disbelief. It looked like a transparent being, but we were trying to discern if it was something else. and we were imagining it being alive because there was no movement. But then it hunched down like it was trying to stalk or be stealthy, and it climbed up the tree a little more and goes to the next one, then the next one, getting closer to us. We don't hear it at all. It's completely silent. Its silence exemplified by the fact that all the other creatures have completely went silent. That's never a good sign.
No.
Which I had only begun to realize the moment not a single bug or animal has made a sound since we started to leave. This is when our curiosity of it were both tripping or mistaking something turned into fear. There was no proofreading in this, bro. Once it got above us, though, the only thing we heard is its crunching of the branch it's put its weight on. Every little sound that is made is so distinct because it's so quiet and remote. We can't see it because the top of the trees were dark and it's camouflaged. We start actually running, terrified, not walking anymore. We hear noises in the tree above us, and it fades away ahead of us as if it ran ahead, but its sound was a lot quieter than if it was a normal animal running into the trees, as if this thing was light and it wasn't very small, so that made no sense. We kept running forward despite it sounding like it was ahead, and we ended up back at the place that we started. Many, many minutes of walking, we were back at the place after started running for like 15 seconds. It's impossible, but instead of staying on the ground, we climbed to the top of the treehouse with our items as quickly as possible and closed the door, wedging a piece of plywood into it to keep it shut. We hear something climbing up and extremely odd noises as well. It's mimicking noises of rain, wind, but there's no water seeping into the treehouse with cracks in it. It wasn't wet when we left. This persisted for a minute, and we didn't hear from it again. I'm pretty sure at that point it had left, but we spent the rest of the night there until the sun came up anyway. When he checked his iPod Touch for the time, this was right after we closed the door, it was 5 a.m. We started laying on the ground at 9 p.m. 8 hours passed in less than 30 minutes of time. Hours after we could start to see the sun through the trees, and we went home. I no longer talked to this friend, but after that incident, we discussed it and said everything from both of our point of views. And we randomly brought it up to each other every few months and relived it, making sure we are still on the same page about what happened and what we remember. I never spent the night out there again. I didn't even let myself stay out there past 5 p.m. for a very long time. This is my story. I'm willing to take a polygraph test. That's how it ends.
I would simply pass away.
Yeah. Also, I know this was posted 4 years ago, but I really hope you've learned to read by now, or I hope you've learned grammar and run on sentence. Like, I hope they know how to write now and proofread.
I hope so for their sake as well, because it was very difficult to read.
Yeah. So, what do you think it was?
Dude, I don't even know what it could even have been. Because, like, the way that they were describing it does not sound like an animal.
No, not even in the slightest, but I don't even know what paranormal being that would be. Maybe a hide behind? But even then, I don't know.
Girl, I don't even know. I don't even know if I want to know.
So, like, my friends go camping a lot, and I don't understand it. Like...
Could not be me.
No.
I went camping
Terrifying.
once, and it was the most scariest thing I have ever done in my life.
They lost 8 hours of time.
And what felt like 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
And the fact that they were running out of what they thought was the way out of the forest, but ended up right back where they started.
Yeah.
And the whole, like, being disoriented with no drugs. Girl, be for real, what's going on? Like, did they enter, like, a
paradox or something?
Little, blip in the Matrix or something?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Google says the Fae. It could be a fairy.
But, like,
But
are the Fae really creeping like that?
Or an alien?
Oh, that could be true too. Who knows? If you have an idea of what it is, put it down in the comments. Or if you had a similar experience to this.
And if you wrote this, I just want to talk.
We just want, like, we get it. We don't know how to read. But, like...
I'm doing better.
That one was rough.
That tripped me up.
Like, I felt like I was on drugs.
Maybe they were in the forest still typing.
Dude, I don't even know.
I don't know. That's insane, though.
But yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back.
And we hope you enjoyed this just as much as we did.
Sorry again that we still haven't learned really how to read in the last 6 months. We tried. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't. And if you have any paranormal stories or you have anything you want to add about what we talked about today, or if you have any stories, please email us at thedearlydepartedpod@gmail.com. It's going to be right here on the screen. It's also going to be in our show notes.
Or Alyssa can insert it here, or here.
Not doing it.
She will one day.
Maybe.
And we will see you guys next week for another new episode of the Dearly Departed podcast. Stay spooky. Alright guys, we'll see you again next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.